You are now listening to FNB Radio.
And welcome to FNB Radio. My name is Lindsay Collins, and I am your host. You know the old adage, you should never podcast when you're in a shitty mood? Well, I'm breaking that because I have to, because it's already Saturday. I guess this show comes out on Saturday now. But thank you so much for being here. Wow, I guess it's Halloween. This has been kind of confusing. My kids are just staying in their costume because we don't really know what's going on. Halloween's on Monday, but this is like the weekend, Saturday being peak weekend time. I haven't looked at the neighborhood Facebook page because I try to avoid it like the plague. But I guess I have to get on there and see. Or maybe we'll just walk outside and see if there's anybody handing out candy. And if they're not, we'll try again on Monday. I hope your Halloween, whatever day it's on, is great. Speaking of tonight, this is something I want to get right at the top of the show. Our dear friend Nathan McClements is showing a solo show of skulls, paintings of skulls, at Hed Hi studio tonight. And it's really, really exciting. It's, I think, going to be an amazing show. We haven't obviously seen it yet, but it's opening tonight. If you're in Charleston, go. It's going to be a great time, a spooky good time, if you will. And he's just the best. He's a pal of Jeremy's. And I'm so excited to see the work. There's so much talent here in Charleston. So definitely go check out his show tonight. Go to Hed Hi, see some art. We were supposed to have him on the show to talk about this, but my life has been such a wreck. It just didn't happen. So Nathan, I can't wait to see the work. Have an amazing show tonight. I hope I can come. Jeremy and I have been going out individually because babysitters are expensive and hard to schedule. So I'm like, it's usually one or the other. We like flip a coin and we're like, hey, who's going to this thing? Who wants it more, and we kind of add up all the reasons, like who's better suited for this event. Being that Jeremy is, Nathan is my friend as well. Obviously we're all friends, but they're art pals, they're peers in art. So I'm sure Jeremy will be taking the lead on this event tonight, unless someone just shows up at my house and says, hey, I want to babysit, in which case I would probably say no, because that's weird that you did that. Unless you're like, Mari or somebody who's another person that I've been meaning to have on the show. I swear to God, as a listener, thanks for hanging in here on the show. And it's just broken promises after broken promise. But on that note, this was because of the hurricane, not because I broke my promise. We did have to reschedule the Creative Mornings, which is going to be this coming Friday, November 4th. It's the one that was rescheduled. If you got a ticket last time, jump on there. Tickets are going on sale on Monday. And by on sale, I mean you just claim them. They're free. But definitely snag one and come hang. There's going to be coffee and snacks and music, and it's going to be magic. Creative Mornings is seriously an honor and one of the coolest things. I did a whole show on it before, back when I was supposed to do it in September. I can't even remember when it was supposed to be now. I think it was supposed to be September. Wow, the time is really flying. Time is just flying. But anyway, it's going to be this Friday. I'm going to share about it on Instagram, but if you grabbed a ticket before, you're not guaranteed a ticket again, so definitely get back on. There was some confusion about that. I think people were like, hey, I got one last time, so I'm good, right? And I was like, no, I think you still need to go on and reclaim them as though we're starting from scratch. So if you had it in your mind that you wanted to come, please do. I am very excited to talk on the topic of depth, not to be confused with death, which kind of is what it sounds like. I'm having a hard time getting that P in there today. Come listen to me talk on the topic of depth. Which one did I say? Happy Halloween. What did I say? But I'm very, very, very excited for that. It's truly, if you go back a few episodes into September, like the last episode in September, I kind of give the whole rundown on what Creative Morning is. But it's going to be really cool. And I'm very nervous But excited to talk about just podcasting F&B radio, the journey with F&B radio, and how it relates to the topic of depth, not death. Depth. Depth. It's Halloween. I am I'm feeling like a real witch. I've been I've been on a roller coaster emotionally for a lot of different reasons. I know we all have. I mean, I don't know that, but I assume we all have, because every time I talk to someone, they're like, me too. And so I feel like I'm not alone in that, but also I feel like I'm constantly just trying to hang on. So if you're feeling, you know, like someone else, maybe that's appropriate because it's Halloween. Just pretend to be someone else, because that's how I feel. I've been feeling like a real witch, and I think I'm going to just make a big cauldron of stew or some kind of vegetable. My go-to for Halloween trick-or-treat night, whatever night that is a big pot of minestrone, because it looks like a cauldron. There's a lot of little bits and bobs and chunks and colors and flavors, and it's just all together hearty and delicious. So I'm probably going to make a big thing of that and just like light a candle, light a fire. We got some firewood. Every year we get firewood. We wait until it's like cold outside, and then we're like, oh fuck, we need firewood for the whole year. And then no one has any, so we like buy some from someone on Craigslist that they're like, it's dried from last year, but inevitably it's not. It's just new green wood that will never burn, and then it smokes out our house, and we have to spend our time like on our hands and knees babysitting this weird unresponsive fire in our fireplace. But this year I was like, enough. I'm sick of all that. I want real kiln dried wood. And so I did call. This is not, they're not sponsoring the show in any way. I don't think they have any idea about the show. But if you are listening, My Morning Wood. I want to, that's, now that I said that, it sounds like, that's can't possibly be it. But let me just do some research here. Morning. I'm just typing it into my, okay. Well, Carolina Morning Firewood. I don't know why I said My Morning Wood. Maybe they used to be that. Maybe they wish they were that. But either way, I made it weird and inappropriate, so it's a good thing they're not sponsoring this show. Carolina Morning Firewood. We called them. We got 2 pallets. They delivered it to us. I can confirm it's beautifully dried. It's perfectly sized. You just pop it in the fireplace and you light it. And they even gave us a box of kindling. Again, this is not sponsorship, clearly, because I made their name inappropriate. But My Morning Jacket, every time I think about that band, I'm like, oh, I know them. And then I'm like, no, I don't. There's a lot of those that have been flying around, these bands that I should know. And I think I know. And I'm sure if you played me a song, I'd be like, oh, yeah. But when I think about My Morning Jacket, I'm always like, I don't know. Are they a wood company? Are they a firewood company? I don't know. But yeah, man, I told you I wasn't going to podcast when I'm angry, but I've had a rough day, and I just wanted to jump on here, as they say, and talk to you about Nathan's show, talk to you about whatever's going on with Halloween. See if you know when they're trick-or-treating, or if you know when your neighborhood's trick-or-treating and your neighborhood's cool, just text me or email me at fnbradio@gmail.com. That's EFFINBRADIO@gmail.com. And snag a ticket to Creative Mornings. I really am really excited about this. Monday, I think starting at 10 a.m., you can grab tickets. I would love to see you there. It will make me feel less nervous to see all of your beautiful faces and to talk to you in person, hang out and have a cup of coffee. There's a Q&A after the like speech. I keep calling it a speech, but I'm like, speech sounds like I was the class president, which I wasn't. It's more like a talk. You know, it'll be like this, but like slightly more, like 10% more organized. So grab those tickets on Monday. What else has been going on? What did I do? I mean, last week, God, there's been so much going on. Last weekend, I like finally pulled the trigger and put in a to-go order at Minero in Johns Island. They reopened Minero, which if you've been in Charleston for a long time, it was originally, God, like this, there's just so many different layers to the story. But Minero was Sean Brock's Mexican restaurant, Oaxacan specifically, or maybe with like an influence from Oaxaca, but it was kind of like all things burritos, smoked chicken wings, tlayudas, quesadillas, like all this amazing Mexican food. And it was downtown for, I want to say, like 3 or 4 years. And then it closed when Sean Brock departed Charleston, or maybe a little bit before. I can't remember. But it reopened, the neighborhood dining group. I hope I'm saying that right. This is how you get the facts straight, people. You just guess and then hope someone corrects you, or doesn't. You just hope you get it right. But they reopened in the former Fat Hen space out on Johns Island. And I had not ever been to the Fat Hen, I'm sad to say, but it's because Johns Island is not close to where we live. So it was a full-on hour, like round trip for me to go and pick up this to-go order. But I can fully say it was worth it. The burrito from Minero is the thing of legend. And it is one of my, like, I mean, God, it's one of those things that I just cherish. And I'm like, it's so good. It's filled with just this delicious cheese-stuffed poblano. And I'm going to give you the hot tip is don't get any meat in your burrito. And I know what you're thinking, like, why wouldn't I add pork? Because that's what I always ask myself every time I'm ordering it. I'm like, I'm going to add pork, right? I'm going to add al pastor. I'm going to add some kind of protein. But the reality is, don't. It just clutters everything. The burrito is so gigantic. It's probably a 10-pound burrito, and it's like it weighs a lot. It costs a lot. It's like a $20 burrito, but I can guarantee you it's worth it because A, it's 2 meals. It's so large that it could feed a small family. And for me, it's 2 meals. And their hot sauces are amazing. Like all of their salsas are amazing. But the burrito, I did it this time because it's been that many, like a year. It's been at least 2 years since I've had the Minero burrito. And I forgot my own hot tip, which was to not put meat in the burrito. And I found myself picking out the chunks of meat. I was like, damn it. This is why I didn't do this. This is why, I don't know. Just go with me on this. Just order it vegetarian. It'll be less expensive by about $2, maybe $6. Who knows? Depends on if you're getting steak or, if you're just throwing your money around. But I challenge you to try it just the veggies because wow, it is so fire. It's rice, beans, that cheese stuffed poblano, all wrapped up in this beautiful burrito. And then they griddle it with Oaxacan cheese to kind of seal it. So you have this like golden brown shell just sealing up the burrito. I missed it. All I'm saying is I'm glad it's back. I'm glad that it's available, even if it is an hour-long drive. Always included there and back. But it was super quick. I put my order in online. I rolled up. I went to the host stand. They were like, here it is, ma'am. Here's your 10-pound burrito and a couple of Cokes. And I was on my merry way. I did get tacos and chicken wings and some other stuff, but the burrito is where it's at. And the new Island Provisions opened. I went there yesterday for a little sneak peek. They opened a location downtown. They have one in Johns Island as well, which is the first one that I went to, and really, really loved it. But the one downtown it's right there on St. Philip next to on the same kind of block as D'Alessandro's Pizza and Chubby Fish. And in that cool neighborhood where there's all these delicious spots to eat, you can now get breakfast and lunch. And the pantry is what's most impressive. Honestly, the pantry has like everything you want and nothing you don't. Like really good olive oil, but not tons of olive oils. Like just thoughtful selections of everything so that when you go in there, there's local products. There's just like in general delicious things. You can get Delta 8 THC gummies at the counter. They're just cool. They got it going on. The place is beautiful. And there's a lot of things for just grab and go takeaway stuff and then a full menu and pastries. I highly recommend it. Thank you guys for having me in. They invited me in for the sneak peek, and it was really, really fun and delicious. I got the sausage biscuit, a chocolate croissant, but I'm going to go back for the sandwiches and the salads and all the takeaway stuff, especially the pantry. But yeah, it was a great time. I'm glad I got to check it out. I'm going to leave you with my final Halloween tip. If you get a ton of candy and you're like, what do I do with all of this? Just chop it up into small pieces and use it in cookies or brownies or any sort of baked good. And then make your friends eat it, because you're going to have a lot left over. And that's its own beast, you know? Don't get too strung out on the candy. It's part of the reason I'm so angry right now. I had a little candy sesh last night. It's not good for me. It's, I'm a delicate flower. And when I stay up late, sitting by the fire, eating Halloween candy on a Friday night, I wake up tired and I wake up grumpy, and then my life spirals out of control. But I'm going to pull it together and I'm going to have a great weekend. I'm going to go to Nathan's show. I hope I see you there. I hope I get to go. Maybe Jeremy will go and then he'll come back and then I'll go. But maybe you'll just see Jeremy there. I hope I get to see it. If I don't get to see it tonight on opening night, you can go back. I think that it'll be up for a couple of days after, and they'll have studio hours, so you can go in and see them. So I will, one way or the other, I'm going to lay eyes on these beautiful paintings. And I'm going to try to, brave the neighborhood Facebook page to see when it is we're trick-or-treating. I wish you all the best. I love you. If you want to sponsor the show and you're not Carolina Morningwood, because I did not mean to mess up your name like that. It's just Carolina. Oh God, what is it? Why is this so hard for me? Carolina Morning Firewood. See, I'm just dropping the fire part. I had it all right. It's got Carolina Morning Wood. Wow. Wow. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. If you want to sponsor the show, you know what to do. You can email me at fnbradio@gmail.com. That's EFFINBRADIO@gmail.com. And thanks for all of you that sent me other types of boards. I've now, since I went on a butterboard, a tiny rant against butterboards, I've gotten buttercream boards. I've gotten ketchup boards. I've gotten cream cheese boards. And let's just say, like, I don't like it. I don't like any of it. I almost was like, maybe the buttercream. And then I was like, no. If you want to eat frosting on stuff, just do it. Please don't put it on your cutting board. All right. That's it. I said I wasn't going to get ranty because I'm already in a bad mood. I love you. I'll see you. Good night. Bye. Bye.